What is up, everybody? Gannon here, back with another one of my Star Trek reviews, and I'll try not to be too loud today because I actually have a friend staying over and he's like chilling on the couch over there. And as always, I'm a psychopath. I'm up at like right in the morning, right when the episode comes out, and I watched it, and this episode was solid. It was definitely really funny. I enjoyed all the jokes. I enjoyed the PAKLEDs this episode. I really enjoyed Boimler. This was just a huge W episode for Boimler. So with all that being said, today we're going to be reviewing Season 2, Episode 6 of Star Trek Lower Deck, titled The Spy Humongous. Kinda sad we're already at the halfway point. Like, Lower Decks is such a well-produced cartoon, and it is really short and sweet. Kind of like the show that I compare it to a lot of the times, Rick and Morty. I'm pretty sure there's only like really short 10-episode seasons of Rick and Morty as well. Episode opens up with Captain Mariner attempting to discuss a ceasefire on the home planet of the PAKLEDs. The home planet of the PAKLEDs, by the way, is called Planet PAKLED. It's appropriately named just because, you know, the PAKLEDs are kind of simple like that. I know things are about to go terribly wrong when Captain Mariner starts off by saying it's just the PAKLEDs. When Captain Mariner actually goes down to the planet, they start off by addressing her as Captain Janeway, and then things actually start to go really wrong when a PAKLED escapee by the name of Rumdar escapes to the Cerritos, and it seems like he's asking for asylum. So then they're saying that Captain Mariner must stay below on Planet PAKLED until he returns. The Lower Deckers start off this episode by receiving an Anomaly consolidation duty assignment. This is something that Mariner refers to as trash duty. It's just the worst job ever. It's picking up volatile trinkets and anomalies from their shipmates all over the Cerritos. And then shortly after that, Boimler is met by a table of enthusiastic and kind of slightly shady group of ensigns who call themselves Red Shirts. They say they like to help one another seek opportunities and rank up and rise in Starfleet, which didn't really make much sense to me. From what I could see, like, of Star Trek content, the Starfleet exams, just the way Starfleet works, going up and rising up in the ranks, it really seems like it's a every man for himself type of thing, and there's really not many ways that you could actually go to help somebody. I think one of the few scenes we actually see that happening in the Star Trek shows is when, in Star Trek Discovery, Michael Burnham is actually like helping Tilly learn how to exercise and run around the ship and be a captain and all that stuff. Boimler is then persuaded to ditch the crappy ACD duty to hang with Ensign Casey and the Red Shirts because they really want to know about his time aboard the Titan, and also Boimler just wants to fit in and get ahead. There's also this awesome scene where Kayshawn is super sussed out by the PAKLED visitor and almost like immediately notices that he's a spy. Hilariously, the PAKLED Rumdar just starts taking pictures with his eyeballs, so he's like very clearly a spy. And I just want to see more Kayshawn so badly. I wish that Shax wouldn't have come back so quickly, but also that's really not how I feel. I love Shax and I love Kayshawn equally almost, but I just want to see more of Kayshawn. He's just so hilarious. It's really funny getting to see him interact with the ship, and then we also get this scene a little bit later on when Kayshawn and Ransom just attempt to continue trolling this PAKLED, and then they eventually just lose him completely. ACD starts out kind of bad when Rutherford's whole entire biomatrix gets messed up while going through trinkets in Ransom's room. Boimler just walks by with his group of Red Shirts, and I can tell from a mile away that he's going to hurt somebody's feelings in some capacity. Down on Planet PAKLED, the Queen comes out to meet the captain, claiming it's their responsibility to kill Rumdar, not the Federation. They want to speak to Rumdar, but of course, in typical fashion, he's predisposed. The captain keeps pushing for a ceasefire, but it seems that she just needs to talk to somebody who has the biggest helmet, but she can't find who has the biggest helmet. The Queen does not have a big enough helmet to do so. There's this cool scene, by the way, when we go back to the Red Shirts in Boimler, where they're teaching Boimler how to dress and act and appear to be like a captain. The Cation that is in the Red Shirts group, upon giving Boimler advice about posture, then proceeds to like morph into a Cation from the TOS like animated series, which is a really cool reference, and I just liked seeing that. Also, Boimler gets this snazzy makeover with new hair and padded muscles. Mariner gets frustrated and blows up on Tendi during ACD duty because she's fed up with her trying to be overly positive about the entire job, really. Mariner just says it's ass, it's not meant to be fun. I don't see why Tendi is really just trying to be positive about something that's clearly horrible. Things start to go really wrong after that when a multitude of crazy anomalies get spilled over by Tendi, and as a result, she's eaten up and pooped out by this orange screaming alien slug that is spawned out of one of these tubes, where she then finally admits that she hates ACD Day. Captain Mariner is down on the planet and is realizing that there's no apparent PAKLED leader, and it's probably going to be the hardest part about making a treaty is just finding somebody who's actually in charge. Then she's met with the PAKLED King, Emperor, and the new Emperor that comes about as a result of a coup, all within the span of like a single minute. The red shirts finally show their crazy side and claim Boimler shouldn't even hang with his friends anymore, which just goes to show you that they're absolutely a bunch of posers. Tendi is transformed into a mutant alien scorpion. As this episode reaches its climax, she storms through the ship, destroying everything. She's transformed into the scorpion because she touches this cube, and it almost seems like her negative energy is feeding into this cube, and it transforms her into this mutant. She also admits that it was originally her idea to sign them up for ACD Day, thinking that it would actually be like a good experience, but now she infinitely regrets it because it's so ass and everybody's having a bad time. Boimler attempts to calm her down by falling into various foods and trying to make her laugh, therefore reversing the effects of the scorpion cube. Boimler actually saves the day while the red shirts monologue, stand around, and do nothing. Then they find Rumdar finally floating in space where they beam him down to the planet. More funny Janeway jokes ensue, and Captain Freeman actually slyly is able to get important PAKLED information from them. Boimler gets a fat dub by getting noticed by Ransom and also getting noticed by like an actual cute girl in this episode. The rest of the red shirts also give him some praise, while Ensign Casey gets to be acting captain for all of 3 seconds, which goes to show that being your own captain is a much better strategy than trying to impersonate other already existing iconic ones. And finally, this episode ended with one of the dopest references I've seen in this show by far. Like, obviously, the Lower Deckers hilariously, like, this is so funny, they prank call Armus, I think his name is, the oil slick murderous alien entity that killed Tasha Yar in season 1 of the TNG. Just absolutely amazing scene. It was really funny, and it was just a great way to end off this episode. It was great. Good job, Lower Decks. And that about does it for this review. I give this episode a solid 7.5 out of 10. This episode is above average in a lot of ways, like content, the jokes, just the references. Especially when it comes to Lower Decks, I feel like if you're gonna get like an 8 and above score, it's usually those episodes that have content that really like means something. Like, you know, when we get those really cool references and those really cool cameos with Riker, Tom Paris, stuff like that. Those are the episodes that I'm really reserving for like 8 and above scores, because I don't want it to seem like I'm just giving every episode of Lower Decks some good score. Even though I pretty much like everyone, I need to be a little bit objective. With all that being said, thank you for watching another one of my Star Trek reviews. I'm gonna stop this review so that my friend can actually get some sleep. If you're enjoying the content that you see on the channel, I'd be very flattered if you were to subscribe. If there's anything that you want to share with me, please leave it down in the comments below. I love the YouTube comments, and I will be sure to get back to you if your comment is legible. And with all that being said, I'm gonna have to see you guys in the next one. Live long and prosper.